Angus Young starts off the song with the main riff. For phrase 1, start by barring your index finger on the 4th string 7 and 3rd string 7, adding your ring finger to the 3rd string 9. With this chord in place, pick strings 5, 3, then 4. Lift the ring finger, exposing the 7th fret bar, and pick strings 3, 4, and 5. Drop the bar down to the 5th fret and pick strings 3, 4, and 5. Then play the 3rd string 7. For the first ending, play the 4th string 7, then the 5th string open. Repeat the riff. But for the second ending, play a C5 power chord. 5th string 3rd fret, along with the 4th string 5th fret. Strum, then drop your index finger down to the 5th string 2nd fret, while keeping your ring or pinky on the 4th string 5. This is a B5 augmented, so you play the C5, B5 augmented, then repeat the whole intro rhythm. To bridge to the verse, the first 6 notes are the same. Then double up on a G5. Index on the 6th string 3rd fret, ring on the 5th string 5th fret, pinky on the 4th string 5th fret. Strum twice. Next, switch to an open D5, 2nd string 3rd fret, with the middle finger, 3rd string 2nd fret with the index, 4th string is open, and the 5th string open A is also played to fill out the chord. Next is a 5th string walk down, 3, 2, and open. Here's a very slow practice run, playing N1, N2, and the bridge to the verse. While Angus plays the main riff, his brother Malcolm comes in on ending 2 with the C5, B5 augmented, and a single open 5th string A note, which rings out. As the riff is repeated, Malcolm strums an A5 to start, then matches the C5, B5 augmented walk down. This repeats while the drums build up the intro, and Malcolm joins in with his variation of the main riff. Start with your index finger barring the 7th fret of strings 3 and 4 while adding the ring finger to the 3rd string 9. Start by picking open 5th string, 3rd, then 4th. Lift the ring finger, exposing the 7th fret bar, and strum strings 3 and 4 together. Pick strings 4, then 5, drop the bar down to the 5th fret, strum 3 and 4 together, then 4, then 5. Hold the 3rd string 7 and 4th string 7 and strum. 4th string 7 by itself, then the open 5th string. The rest is the same, repeating the riff alternating between ending 1 and 2. Here's a practice run of phrase 2 at half speed. For the verse, Angus plays the 5th string open, then an A5 power chord, 4th string 7 with the 3rd string 9. Lift the 9th fret, exposing the 7th fret finger bar, and strum strings 3 and 4 together. This is an inverted D5, and go back to the A5 again. So all together we have the open 5th string, A5, D5, A5. Mute the strings and move the structure down 2 frets, and you have G5, inverted C5, G5. Angus often adds vibrato to the last chord, while Malcolm allows this chord to ring out. Then both guitars play an open A5, move down to the C5, B5 augmented walk down, and repeat. After a few repetitions, Malcolm plays lower versions of the same chords to enhance the rhythm, holding a 6th string A5 power chord, 6th string 5, 5th string 7, 4th string 7. Play the 6th string, then strum 4 and 5. Lift the ring finger and you have a D5 with your index on the 5th string, 5th fret. Play with the pinky on the 4th string 7. Return the ring to the 7th fret and strum A5 again. Drop it down 2 frets for G5, C5, G5. Then open A and the walk down chords. The next change revolves around the D5 power chord. Barring the 4th and 5th strings with the index finger on the 5th fret, add the 4th string 7th fret with your ring, and 3rd string 7 with your pinky. Start with a single 5th string 5th fret, then strum D5 on strings 3 and 4. By lifting your ring finger, you can strum 4 and 5 with the 5th fret bar, and you have a G5 chord. Then return to D5 on strings 3 and 4. Repeat these chords, D5, lift to G5, back to D5, then double up on a full D5, a single 5th string open pedal tone, then drop down 2 frets to C5, move everything up 1 string for G5, that's a 6th string 3, 5th string 5, and 4th string 5. The next rhythm change revolves around an E5 power chord and an A5 inversion. 5th string, 7th fret, 4th string 9, 3rd string 9 for the E5. Lift the ring finger to expose a 7th fret bar, and you have an A5 inversion when you strum strings 5 and 4 together. For the rhythm pattern, play an open 6th string E pedal tone, E5, A5 inversion, E5, then repeat the pedal tone, E5, A5 inversion, E5. Next is a pedal tone, double E5, pedal tone, then drop down 2 frets to D5, move the same fingering up 1 string for an A5, repeat the rhythm, but for ending 2, double up on a G5 power chord. After the verse, the main riff is repeated for the chorus. Let's play the chorus and verse at full speed. I'll play Angus's version, but feel free to practice both guitar parts along with me. Phrase 5 gives us the rhythm guitar that the solo is played over. Start with an open A5 power chord. That's the 5th string open, 4th string 2nd fret, and 3rd string 2nd fret. Repeat. Then play A5 to 6th string 3rd fret with a slight bend. Back to A5, 6th string 3rd fret to C5, 6th string 3rd fret, up to D5. Repeat. And after the 4th repetition, play the bridge chords, which we learned in phrase 4. Phrase 6 starts off the guitar solo with double notes on strings 2 and 3. Start with your middle finger on the 2nd string 8 and ring on the 3rd string 9. This frees up the index to bar the 7th fret. Play the fretted notes, 7th fret bar, and hammer to 8 and 9. Pull back to 7 and slide down to the 5th fret. Play 7 again, but this time with the ring and pinky, and back to 5 with a slight bend. Ring to 4th string 7, down to the 5th fret, played along with the 5th string open, then hammer your ring back to 7. Bar strings 1 and 2 on the 5th fret, ring on the 2nd string 8, along with middle on the 3rd string 7, and a slight bend. Slide the ring down to 7 along with the 3rd string 7 with vibrato and a slight bend. in for a deep pick slide to start off phrase 7. And follow it up with the slide down the neck on the 6th string. Switch to the 4th string 5, hammer to 7, and pick 7 again with vibrato. 4, hammer to 5, 5 again with vibrato. 2, then 4, 5th string open, 4th string 7 with the ring, 5, slide up to 7. Bend the 3rd string 7, and while holding the bend, bar strings 1 and 2 on the 8th fret. Pluck the 8th fret notes with your fingers. Pick 3rd string 7 again, bend, give it some vibrato. Now, while holding the bend, pluck all 3 strings at the same time in 4 pulses of 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, then release, bend, release, and end phrase 8 with a final bend. In phrase 9, play the 3rd string 5 to 4th string 7, 7, back to 3rd string, and 2nd string 5 with a slight bend. Slide your ring finger up to the 3rd string 9, add your middle finger to the 2nd string 8, and play the notes together, giving them vibrato. This fingering leaves your index finger in place to play the 3rd string 7 along with the middle finger on the 2nd string 7. Play both with a slight bend. Next, play 2nd string 7 with 4th string 7, adding vibrato. Here, I pick the 4th string and I pluck the 2nd string. Play 3rd string 5, ring on 7, and slide up to 9. Play 9 along with 2nd string 8, and vibrato. Slide this fingering up to 3rd string 11, 2nd string 10, back to 11, then both notes played together with vibrato. For phrase 10, slide your index from 3rd string 9 up to 12. Your middle is in place for 2nd string 13, then ring on 3rd string 14. From this position, play 2nd string 13 with 3rd string 12 at the same time, and hammer the ring to 14, then play both strings. Again, 12 and 13 together, hammer to 14, then 14 and 13 together. Repeat one more time. Next, play 14 and 13 again, pull to 12, play 2 more times, 14 and 13, pull to 12. End phrase 10 with double notes on the 1st string 12 and 2nd string 13 played twice. Unison bends start off phrase 11 with your index finger on 2nd string 15 and ring on 3rd string 17. Play both notes, bending with the ring finger, repeat and hold. Play the unison bend a 3rd time, then dropping down 1 fret, 3rd string 16 with a half step bend, release, 14 with the index, and slide down the neck. Middle finger on the 3rd string, 14. 12, hammer to 14 with vibrato. Index on the 2nd string, 13. To middle on the 3rd string, 14. Ring on the 2nd string, 15. Back to 14. Back to 15 with vibrato. Return to 14 with the slide down the 3rd string. In phrase 13, play 2nd string 15, 17 with the bend, pinky on 1st string 17, back to 2nd string 17 bend, 17 bend, play both notes bending the 2nd string, again with the bend, and release. With index on 2nd string 15, hammer to 18, pull to 15, 3rd string 17, back to 15, and slide down. Phrase 14 starts with a 3rd string bend on 19, then a unison bend holding 2nd string 17 with the index and 19 with the bend. 19 by itself, bend, repeat, then a rundown from the 1st string 17, 2nd string 20, pull to 17, 3rd string 19, bend, release, 17, 19, 17, 4th string 19, pull to 17, and on the 2nd string 20 with a bend and a bend again. Phrase 15 climbs from the 2nd string 20 to 1st string 17, 20, 17, back to 2nd string 20, 20 with a full bend, hold the bend, pick 20 again, and release. Then 17, 1st string 20 with a bend, hold, pick 20, then release. Ending the solo on phrase 16, pull off from 1st string 17 to 15, drop down to 12, then play 2nd string 15 with a bend, 15 natural, 13, 3rd string 14, back to 13, add vibrato, then return to 14 with a slide down the 3rd string. Phrase 17 starts off some outro lead guitar work. Ring finger on the second string 15 with a bend. Hold and play first string 17 with a stretched out pinky. Back to second string 15, pick and release the bend. Add vibrato. End with 13 vibrato, 15 vibrato. This haunting bend riff is repeated. By the fourth repetition, slide down 13 on the second string, hammer a picking hand finger on the fifth string 12, and slide down the neck, followed by your playing hand on the sixth string 12, and slide down the neck. Drop down to fourth string 7, 5, 5 hammer to 7, add vibrato, 7 again with vibrato, slide down, third string 5, hammer to 7, vibrato, 5, and slide to wrap up phrase 18. Unison bends start off phrase 19, holding the second string 10 and bending the third string 12. Release and pick 12 alone, then another unison bend, slide down the neck, up to a unison bend on 13 and 15, drop your ring to third string 14, 12 hammer to 14, second string 13, add third string 14, so both ring out, vibrato, and slide. Phrase 20 starts off with the same unison bends on 10 and 12, up to second string 20 with a bend, hold and pick 20 again, 17 hammer to 20, and bend, hold and pick again, 17, 20 bend, release, bend, and slide. Unison bends on the first and second string for phrase 21, holding 17 and bending 20. Repeat, repeat with vibrato. 17 by itself, sliding down to 15. Second string 17, 15 bend, release, 13, 15 bend, to first string 15, down to 12 with a unison bend on 15. Add vibrato. Phrase 22 begins with unison bends on 12 and 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, pick 15 and release. Middle on 13, to 3rd string 14, pinky on 2nd string 15, back to 14, and on double notes 1st string 12 with 2nd string 13. Before the final chords of the song are played, there's a lot of intentional background noise. Take the edge of your pick and cut into the strings, gliding back and forth. As this builds up, hold the 2nd string 13 with vibrato. Let this ring out, then end with an open A5, 6th string 3rd fret G, back to A5. Angus and Malcolm will at times play a variation on a rhythm. For example, in phrase 4, we learned a rhythm based around a D5. When you listen to the song, there are times that they will add extra strums or even pedal tones. The Young brothers will often play the same chords but in different positions. While Malcolm plays the lower strings, Angus might play the same chords on higher strings. For the first part of this rhythm, we drop down to an open D5, which is held with the 2nd string 3rd fret, 3rd string 2nd, and 4th string open. Lift the 3rd string 2nd and play it open, and you now have a G5. The rhythm for phrase 24 has a 4th string bass note, then 2nd and 3rd string chords, D5, G5, D5. Repeat the 4th string bass, D5, G5, D5, 4th string bass, then a full D5, D5. To end, play an open 5th string A, then an open C5, to an open G5. These are a little tricky if you're just starting out. Position your finger so you are holding the 5th string, 3rd fret, but the bottom of your finger touches the 4th string, muting it so it does not ring out. But it doesn't touch the 3rd string, allowing only strings 5 and 3 to ring out. Move your middle finger up one string to the 6th string, allowing the bottom to mute the 5th string, and strum through to 4, 3, and 2, and you have a new variation of a G5. The song TNT starts out with an E5 power chord. Just combine the 6th string open with your index finger on the 5th string 2nd fret. And if you've been playing guitar a little while, you can also add the 4th string 2nd fret by barring your finger across the 5th and 4th strings. For beginners, this might be a little bit tricky, so you have my permission to cheat and play only the 5th and 6th strings until you get a little stronger. Strum down on strings 6, 5, and 4 to ring out the chord while the drums build up to start the song. When the verse starts, play another E5, then mute the strings. There are 2 ways to do this. You can lay the palm of your picking hand across the strings to deaden the notes. And as a backup, you can use your free fingers of your playing hand to mute the strings by laying them across the fretboard. If you do both together, you'll definitely get a good mute. There's an open G5 power chord. Place your middle finger on the 6th string 3rd fret, allowing the bottom of your skin to touch the 5th string, muting the string and preventing any notes from ringing out. As you strum this chord, you are also going to include the open 4th and 3rd strings. So with your middle finger in place, strum down on strings 6, 5, 4, and 3. Let the chord ring out, then mute the strings. The next chord is an A5, 5th string open, index finger on the 4th string 2nd fret, along with a finger bar across the 3rd string 2nd fret. Just like the E5, beginners can cheat and skip the bar for now. Just be sure to let the notes ring out, then mute the chord like before. While you mute the A5 chord, play the 6th string 3rd fret with your middle finger, a quick change to the A5 chord, then return to the 6th string 3rd fret and give it a slight bend. Just keep pressure on the note and give it a smear across the fingerboard. That makes up the chord changes to the verse. Again, it's E5, mute, G5, mute, A5, mute with the 6th string G note, A5, G, and bend, and then repeat several times. There are also some rhythm variations to the verse. Since there are 2 guitars in the mix, Angus and Malcolm Young often play slightly different rhythm parts. To enhance the E5, bar the 2nd fret as we learned earlier, but angle your finger to lightly touch the 3rd string. Since you're not holding the 3rd string against the fretboard, the strings will be muted and prevent any stray notes. Next, you want to allow the 2nd and 1st string to ring out with the rest of the chord. It's a little tricky if you're just starting out. When you get to the A5 chord, you can make it an A chord by adding the 2nd string 2nd fret to the finger bar. The rest of the rhythm remains the same. There is an end tag to each verse where you play the chords a little different. Play the E5, then mute, but when you change to G5, let the chord ring out, then switch to an A5, allowing it to ring out as well. Here's a practice run playing the verse at half speed. You can play along using the basic power chords, E5, G5 to A5, or you could play along using the extended E5 and A chord. Phrase 1 begins by sounding the second string open. From there, the rest of the notes are sounded with hammer-ons and pull-offs only. Index to the 4th fret, pull to open. Then the ring or pinky to 7, pull to open. Then repeat. You want to play this a total of 8 times. Then move up 1 fret, pulling 5 to open, then 8 to open, and repeat 8 times. To prevent unwanted notes from ringing out, I rest my middle finger of my picking hand on the first string and lay my thumb across strings 3 to 6. This way, only the second string can ring out. After phrase 1 repeats several times, phrase 2 continues to sound second string notes using hammer-ons and pull-offs. Hammer your ring finger to 12, pull to open, index to 10, open, 9, open. Not reflecting the rhythm, I broke this section into patterns of 3. The next group of hammer-ons is 10, open, 9, open, 7, open. Then 9, open, down to 5, open, 7, open. To wrap up this section, index to 4, open, middle to 5, open, repeat 4, open, 5, open, again 4, open, 5, open, and with 4, open. Then repeat all of phrase 2.